Getting engaged has ruined my relationship. July 20th, 2024. My partner and I have been together for nearly 6 years. He has honestly been the most amazing, wonderful, and supportive person in my life. He doesn't just make me happier, he makes me healthier. He's been absolutely fantastic in every way imaginable. About 2 years ago, we had the big marriage talk. We were both honest about what we wanted. He admitted that getting married made him so nervous. He has literally never seen a successful marriage. Every marriage he's ever witnessed has either ended in disastrous divorce or very sad premature death. I said I would stay with him whatever he chose, but there are some things I wouldn't do unless we were married. Just as he's seen too many marriages fail, I've seen too many loved ones be abandoned by men once the kids come along or when he finds a better option. In other words, as long as we weren't married, no kids, and our finances remained strictly untangled from each other. He proposed to me a few months after that, and since then, he's turned into an absolute nightmare. First, he refuses to do anything wedding-related, but accuses me of taking over and being a bridezilla when I make decisions without him. He does things behind my back, like inviting our friend who has 4 kids to bring the children, when we agreed the only exception to the no kids rule would be my niece, who will be 3 months old and for obvious reasons can't be separated from my sister for the weekend. I can swallow that frustration, but he's also become hypercritical. Any mess around the house, even if he made it, if I haven't cleaned it up by the time he gets home, he refuses to talk to me. I work from home, so I usually do a lot of the chores like the dishwasher in my lunch break, but sometimes I don't have time. This is a busy time of year, and while my job is usually constrained to the 9-5, in the last few weeks I've had to work until 8 or 9. When he stormed in last night angry that he had to clean the kitchen, and I pointed out I'd been working for 12 hours straight, he looked me in the eyes and said, "So?" He's threatened to throw me out the house and call off the engagement 4 times. He's stopped initiating sex. I've come to dread the sound of the door unlocking because he can't go 5 minutes without finding a problem to have with me. It's so bad that my mother, who was ready to adopt him a year ago, is refusing to be the witness that signs our marriage certificate. I've asked to call off the wedding, go back to being just girlfriend and boyfriend, but he says he really does want to get married, and he's just doing all of this to make sure he's making the right choice. Increasingly, though, all he's done is convince me I'm making the wrong one. Edit to add, if it wasn't clear, I'd already decided not to marry him when I made this post. I'm packing up and going to my mom's for now. I'm safe and don't need anyone to call the cops. Thanks to the person who offered, though. Relevant comments. Commenter. He's abusive. He was always going to be abusive once he felt he'd locked you down. This is who he is. You can't stay with him because of who he used to be, because he isn't that person anymore. He will likely never be that person again. OP. It's really hard to believe he was trying to lock me down. If anything, I had to kind of convince him to propose. But yeah, I'm not planning to marry this man anymore. More comments from OOP. OP when told, don't convince someone to marry you if they don't want to. I mean, when we discussed, I told him I would be perfectly happy not getting married if he didn't want to. I knew he feels generally disillusioned with marriage. I just simply wasn't willing to commit to something like kids or a mortgage if he couldn't honestly say he was planning on staying with me for the rest of our lives. Nothing would have happened if he hadn't asked me. Did he agree to marry only for financial reasons? I don't think so. I have thought a lot about that. At the time he proposed, we knew his grandma was going to pass away soon. We were renting the house next door to her, and while we knew he'd inherit the house we were living in, the 2 houses had slowly merged gardens in the 10 years he and his grandma had been living next to each other. The 2 houses have been in the family since the 30s, so he was quite keen on buying next door to both avoid losing it. The family member who inherited it couldn't afford to keep it, but also because having a stranger live there would have been a huge privacy issue for both houses. We'd hoped to rent it to a friend or another family member. He does earn a lot more than me, but he's self-employed, so the banks are quite wary of loaning to him. I work in a university which the banks consider a safe professional job, so getting credit and loans would have been much easier if he'd been married to me. Thinking back on it, I wonder if he asked me not because it was something he wanted per se, but just something that made sense. We'd been together for a while, so it made sense to keep moving forward. It made financial sense, and his family liked me. I'm not a perfect partner or person, but weighing it all up, marrying me had lots of factual advantages for him. I even have dual American citizenship, and he'd always dreamed of moving to America one day. Update August 7th, 2024. Sorry for the wait, folks. I've had a lot to do. This has honestly been one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I'm back in with my parents, which is awful. I hate it. I feel like a teenager again. They're being very supportive, and I'm grateful I had somewhere to go, but the house is so damn loud, and I forgot what it was like. I'm trying to find an affordable apartment, but it's London, so that feels like a bit of a pipe dream. To top it all off, canceling a wedding a month before is expensive. Only the celebrant and the photographer have accepted refunds. Every other vendor has been paid in full, and that's money just flushed down the toilet. It's been exhausting. Before this, I was in a pretty great financial situation. I had savings and a plan and a house and a financially stable partner. Now I have less than 1/10 of my savings, nowhere to live, and no real prospect for the future. It's not easy processing losing him. Not easy at all. I'm still in the part where everything makes me cry, and you feel like someone has taken scissors to your soul, but I've experienced both grief and breakups. I know this feeling will eventually fade, even if it might never completely disappear. When it's mixed in with the relief of being able to exist without criticism every 5 minutes, I'm hopeful it will pass sooner rather than later. But I have no experience for this kind of existential fear of being alone, not having the family I've wanted for so long, not knowing what's next, actually trying to date someone. When I was little, I never knew what I wanted from my career other than that I had one, but I always knew I wanted to be a mum. That dream feels like it's getting further and further away every day. I have no experience for this burning embarrassment of telling everyone in your life that the wedding they were invited to isn't happening. It was so painful telling his niece and nephew I wasn't going to be seeing them again. They cried and clung to me and begged me not to go, and they ripped my heart out. It's easy on Reddit to tell someone to end things, but when you've built a life together, disentangling it is so bloody difficult. A divorce would be easier because then we'd have a legal framework for all of this. Instead, I have to decide if I want to take him to court for the custody of my cat when I don't have a proper place to house her, but she's my cat. You might have noticed I've avoided really talking about my ex. We're communicating through our parents. He tried to reach out several times, but if I talk to him, I know I will do what I always do. I will buckle and take him back because I love him very, very much. I've been in therapy, again courtesy of my parents, and my therapist has to keep reminding me to love myself more than I love him. I miss him anyway. He's promised to change, promised couples counseling, promised he knows he was wrong, but he also hasn't said the word sorry yet. Such a small word, and yet so telling. He's been generally pretty accommodating to me. Expenses have been split 50-50ths, which is fair, but certainly a worse deal for me. He left the house so I could gather my things in peace. I can tell from the state of it this has hit him hard. The cats have been the only sticking point, and I understand why. The house is old and creaks. Being there alone isn't fun. Neither of us liked it when we were alone, and a large part of the reason we got cats was for the company at night when the other was away. I'm sorry if this wasn't the update you wanted to hear. My mind is all over the place. Aida for purposely stopping my classmate from winning an award and subsequently making her cry. February 28th. 2019. This issue is honestly making me frustrated. Almost everyone is saying I am in the wrong. People are talking behind my back, and I genuinely don't know if what I did was correct or not. I just feel so lost. Please, please do help. I am 17, suffered a major accident while cycling when I was 13. I have 2 really deep, long facial scars. I have been bullied really bad because of it. I am tall, ugly, and intimidating as per most girls. People make fun of other people by saying things like, why don't you just hook up with you/throwaway for 2K19? I am honestly used to it. Those people didn't matter to me anyway. But there is this girl I had known since middle school. Let's call her back, I guess? Sorry, I honestly don't know how this works. I had a really, really big crush on her till a few days ago. I thought she was genuinely sweet and amazing. My family is incredibly supportive, so they urged me to ask her out. I can play a guitar, so I made this whole song for her. I went to the neighboring city to get her favorite chocolate and stuff like that. This was the first time I felt like really going and asking someone out in my life, and I felt that regardless of what I do, she shall see me for who I am and at least accept me as a friend. I was over the moon when she ended up accepting. We went to a fancy restaurant, had a fun time together, and walked for 30 minutes. She was really sweet to me. The next week or so was honestly heaven. People started noticing me. Even her friends seemed friendly with me. I honestly cried every day because I felt so fortunate to get so much love. It all broke down when a friend of hers, who was on Instagram and followed Beck, sent screenshots to me. I honestly felt betrayed and disgusted. She had posts saying, fulfilled his lifelong wish by being his Valentine's, making his day by finally helping him interact with my friends. He is ugly, but beautiful people accept ugly people, #ugly people, matter, etc. Beck's friend then explained me that she apparently wanted a good social media image and had thus asked all her friends to be kind to me and tolerate me till the first week of March, and then distance themselves from me. She apparently wanted to win some stupid positive role model award for her college application because she was lagging behind in community service, and thought playing with my feelings for a few days wouldn't hurt, and apparently since I was ugly, she was the kind one to give me attention anyway. I was in tears and honestly felt disgusted. My blood was boiling. I researched about this award, found a Facebook page about it online. I went to the authorities to confirm if her name was on the nominations list, and then had my friends at work and family as alibi. She is apparently crying a lot because she received a message from the committee saying her nomination was withdrawn. I am now even more ostracized in school, but honestly, I have no remorse whatsoever and feel far more satisfied. Edit. I am honestly really grateful for not only judging me, not in that way, but also giving me love and support. Each comment means the world to me. I am honestly crying reading some of the encouragement. No one besides my family has said these things to me. I know it might seem silly, but it genuinely means the world to me, guys. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Edit 2. Honestly, the support is genuinely overwhelming. I promise to not let you down and to continue being a good person. Thank you for the gold. Thank you all so much for the private messages you have sent me too. I honestly have gone through as many as I can, and I just feel really fortunate and grateful. I sincerely hope you all have an amazing life ahead. Thank you so much. This has been one of the highlights of my year. Edit 3. I am sorry for boring you with all these edits. I genuinely can't thank you guys enough. I showed my parents these posts, and they had tears of joy too. I am so thankful to each and every one of you guys. Loads of love. But I have been noticing a worrying number of DMs saying me I could have used her body and had some fun after knowing the truth, etc. I am not this kind of person, and I hope nobody is. I have my own integrity. It's not right to just forcefully have sex with her. That's appalling. A couple of other DMs sent me links to secret webcams to expose her nudes, etc. It's honestly horrifying. I am not that kind of person, and shall never ever be one. I just want to make the world a better place and the people around me happy. I thank these people for their support, but their way to go around it is very wrong. A lot of women are amazing. My mother is amazing. The person who sent the screenshots is amazing. My coworkers are amazing, and I am sure many women out there are amazing. Please don't tell me to take the red pill or anything of that sort, because I am not going to do that, ever. Please don't say all women are manipulative, etc. This post isn't anti-women in any way. It's me talking about the person I believe wronged me. Relevant comments. Commenter. NTA. This is so fucked up it's beyond words. How did she even qualify for an award like that with this as her entry submission? What she did to you was dehumanizing and so incredibly out of line. Everyone's on her side because you're surrounded by assholes at school, but I promise you, you will move past this OOP. Thank you for saying this. I honestly was confused and still am to some extent because everyone in high school sided with her. Your trust in me genuinely matters. I just let the whole truth out. Thank you for trusting me. Have a nice day, commenter. This was obviously a bitch move, but don't expect your peers to side with you. School will be over soon enough and you'll meet more pleasant people. I can promise you that. Things will get better, buddy. I'm honestly impressed by your attitude. You seem like a chill guy, OOP. My mother is a huge Mr. Rogers fan and always told me to see his video where he says to look for the helpers at least once a week. I love watching that video too, and I try to adopt it in my everyday life. People at my work are supportive. My parents are supportive. High school is just a temporary thing. I am optimistic that people will accept me in college. I genuinely just want to help people. It's not my intention to intimidate them. I am really sad whenever I go outside without a hood on because people, especially small kids, are extremely judgmental and innocent at the same time. But every once in a while, a kind person just interacts with me and asks me how my day was. People like them make me want to not cover my face whenever they go outside because they are worth it. Kindly do be that person. That's all I can ever ask. Thanks for your support. Genuinely means a lot, commenter. You are most definitely not the asshole, and I am very sorry that you're dealing with this. It probably doesn't help a lot now, but as you get older, you will find that women put a lot less stock into looks and a lot more emphasis on things like being kind, trustworthy, respectful, and funny. Teenage girls are notoriously shallow. Also, you will very likely love college if you decide to attend. It was so much better than high school for me, OOP. I have fortunately been accepted to my dream college, but I am extremely afraid of not getting accepted. Honestly, it's not like I yearn for love or anything. I just want friends, that's all. And people to say hi and treat me with respect. I am genuinely glad to know college was better for you. I hope you have a beautiful life ahead too. OP on the person who sent the screenshots. And yes, I made a thank you card and put it in her friend's locker. I don't want to make it public or anything because then she might lose out on her whole group. I am just grateful she reached out to me. Update. October 28, 2019, 8 months later. I honestly can't express how grateful I am to you guys in words. I received thousands of private messages, and I genuinely cherish each and every one of them. I utilized my free time to read them all and thought that giving you guys an update would be the least I could do. I genuinely didn't expect anything close to the response the post got, and I still can't believe my eyes whenever I look at all the support. You people are just too kind. High school has passed. I am currently in the second month of my college. Life is freaking fantastic. I remember being extremely anxious about how people would think I am a freak or treat me like an outcast, but I am fortunate enough to say that I have a social life. I am doing great academically, and it constantly blows my mind to see people actually happy to spend time with me. I also personally thanked the girl who was responsible for me knowing the truth. We still stay in contact, and I consider her a really close friend. I can't thank her enough for what she did. I am grateful to my parents. I remember crying in happiness when a girl gave me her number because I looked cute and I called me parents. We have been dating for a month now. I still do cheesy romantic things. That's just a part of me. She likes it though. They cheered for me, and I feel like they are really happy seeing me this way too. I am glad my happiness brings them happiness. Most importantly, I just want to tell anyone out there that it does get better. I have been spit on, beaten, and tormented by so many people, but the friends I have right now wouldn't let that happen to me in my dreams. So many people reached out to me to help, and I am available if you guys ever want to open up or feel lost. I have joined a few charitable clubs too. That really helps a lot. So yes, I am having a beautiful day. With all my heart, I hope you guys are having a beautiful day too. Edit. I would would also request anyone to not become a bad person due to bad people. I unfortunately got so many DMs telling me how women are trash and stuff much worse that I would feel ashamed to even give importance to. The fact that someone who was responsible for me realizing that I was living in a beautiful lie was a girl should be proof enough. There is good in this world. Please know that. Relevant comments. Commenter. Hey man, can I just say as someone going through a hard time in high school, this helps a lot, edit. Was not expecting about 100 replies and DMs full of encouragement. So since I can't thank you all personally, I'll thank you all here. Each and every word means a lot. OP. That was honestly my main intention making an update. Glad it helped, commenter. Did the girl who deceived you get into her school of choice? OP. No. Which is ironic since I got into my dream school. Not studying there though, since I got a really good scholarship here and it's been great so far. Commenter. I'm still confused on how this girl was going to win an award for dating you. Edit. Not doubting. Just confused. OP. I don't think she was now that I have a clearer view on the matter. You see, the information conveyed to me was from a helpful girl. She didn't know everything about the exact circumstance, and so she assumed it was going to help her and told me the matter with absolute certainty.